This is my happy place. And it has been for a long, long time. It's the ferry that goes from my parents' house near Manly Beach to downtown Sydney. There's nothing magical about the boat itself. Tourists and locals ride this thing every day. But really, that's what makes this ferry so special. No commuter ride on the planet offers up more amazing city views. It's routine made spectacular. Now, you won't know it from my accent, but I spent a lot of time here as a kid. My Aussie grandfather helped build the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and my Aussie mum helped build the Opera House. I know, the goatee. It was a phase, cut me some slack. The point is, I grew up eating things like this and worshiping these folks. My hope is that the Aussie cred will buy me some forgiveness for what comes next. This country, which punches far above its weight in so many areas, has underachieved terribly when it comes to technology. For years, talented Aussie coders have escaped to Silicon Valley to make their livings, and recent Australian government policies have underfunded science and tech. As my pap would say, Aussie tech is crook. There are signs, though, that Australia has turned on and started to retain some of its homegrown tech talent. This, then, is an odyssey to find the country's rising stars. My journey goes from the beaches of Sydney to the artsy, cosmopolitan streets of Melbourne. Along the way, I get lost in a cave with only glowworms to guide me, go diving in the ocean with a robot, and make friends with some dinosaurs. All on this episode of Hello World. San Francisco is nice and all, but if you're a techie looking for somewhere good to live, why not pick this? It's not cold and foggy with rivers of urine cascading down hilly streets. It's sunshine and beaches. Real, amazing beaches intertwined throughout Sydney's suburbs. And just about everyone at the beaches is beautiful because the sharks only eat the ugly people. Some Aussies are even lucky enough to work out here. And that's why I've turned up in the eastern suburbs of Sydney at Clovelly Beach to meet with a company called Abyss Solutions.
I just had this gut feeling that, this is where things are going to be going. The underwater world hasn't been explored, and exploration is my passion.
Abyss Solutions is a young startup founded in 2014 by a mix of Australians and immigrants. The company's CEO, Nasir Hassan, grew up in Pakistan, and his co-founder, Masood Naqshbandi, came from Afghanistan. Together, the young men have advanced degrees in fields like machine learning and material science. Now they're looking to combine the latest in underwater drones, mapping software, and data analysis, hoping to learn more about bodies of water. Huge progress has been made already with this type of drone technology when it comes to analyzing the Earth. The work being done by Abyss, though, marks the first stage of a similar undersea journey.
This is an aquatic drone. This has got a 100-meter depth rating. There's a battery chambers, pan-tilt zoom camera, so it can move up and down. It's got a bunch of lasers.
When I think of, you see Jacques Cousteau or whoever, exploring underwater, I mean, it's like some crazy submarine contraption, or it's these divers that are staying under for a long time. It seemed like this would be a low-cost way to do a lot of that type of work.
There's the human cost of it as well, because these divers, when they're going to work, they go into really dangerous environments. Like sometimes they go into sewage lagoons, which is really nasty, and it smells and it's horrible. And they really put their lives at risk. So this is a perfect example of robotic solutions where a simple robot can do the job just equally as well.
While the electronics are relatively straightforward, the software needed to clean up images, analyze surfaces, and map otherwise invisible terrain proves tricky to build. The key to Abyss's technology is the way in which they blend thousands of images together and then precisely spot something like a crack in a bridge.
You can see like 3D models of the ship hull or the dam wall. So we can say, hey, at this location, there's a little crack in the hull.
The Abyss engineers have to direct the drone today. Next up, they want to make it fully autonomous and rig the device with a bevy of sensors.
Deep sea is a bit away, but that's what I'm really interested in. That's where my passion is. I want to be able to develop sensors that will help us explore the ocean. And my vision would be, beyond robotics, to make the underwater world more accessible to people, and eventually maybe even living underwater. Possibilities are endless.
Are you going to live underwater?
I would love to do that.
Abyss has received help from tech incubators funded by local companies and universities, which is an example of Australia starting to mimic Silicon Valley in a successful way. With a bit of luck and some more hard work, Aquaman over here may soon get to live out his dreams.